That's great. Well, we're joined now from Erbil by Melany Markham. She's a media coordinator for the Norwegian Refugee Council. Welcome to our broadcast. Tell us about your take on this latest claim of victory, but the fighting still continues. How volatile of a situation is this?
We have to remember that there are other ISIS-occupied areas in Iraq, in Tel Afar, Anbar and Hawija provinces. So I don't think any of us are expecting the violence to end once the Battle of Mosul concludes. And in fact, in recent weeks, there have been reports of violence. There have been explosions in East Mosul and in other areas around Mosul. So certainly for us, we're not expecting violence to end immediately once the battle finishes.
What about the situation there for the civilians? At one time, there was upwards of 100,000 people trapped there while all this fighting was going on.
Certainly those numbers have dwindled, but in western Mosul, the city has been all but razed from the reports that we're hearing. Entire buildings have been flattened, the water system has been knocked out. There's no food. These are the things that people are telling us and what we've seen from all reports. So it's quite a horrific situation. Most of the people who've currently fled Mosul, and that's about 700,000 people, most of those people are from the west of the city. The battle has intensified in recent weeks. A lot of them are living in camps for displaced people, but others are living with family, friends and relatives in East Mosul.
What about the conditions for the refugees right now? I mean, you're talking 700,000 people who have left. What kind of situation are they in?
It's really tough. Temperatures in Iraq at the moment are topping 45 degrees Celsius, and that's just making their basic needs much worse. The need for water, there's a threat of disease looming. So while we're keeping up and doing the best we can to serve their basic needs, conditions in Iraq are extremely harsh for people who don't have homes and people who've been made homeless by this violence. The other problem that humanitarian organisations like the Norwegian Refugee Council are facing is that half the people have been dispersed into urban areas and their needs are extremely varied. One of the things we're doing is distributing cash to people in places like East Mosul, or distributing basic building supplies so that people can make repairs to their homes that have been damaged.
Well, it would seem to me that water and food are critical right now, obviously, but what else is needed? Volunteers, people on the ground to rebuild this area?
I think what's needed are the resources to rebuild Iraq. And it would be an even bigger tragedy if after this huge battle to take Mosul back from ISIS, after this battle ends, that the international community were to abandon Iraq. So the thing that Iraq needs most right now, and that the people of Mosul need most right now, is the resources to rebuild. The Iraqi government is estimating that it will cost $100 billion to rebuild Iraq after this battle.
100 billion? Can you repeat the number?
Yes.
All right, Melany Markham, thank you so much for joining us.